So, I'm going to read some of my posts from 2017. Obviously, by this point, I already had a few people that were busy being assholes, talking over me, telling me those pretty words. Meanwhile, they're doing it from a distance because I can't go to Boulder without being threatened, harassed, or fucking assaulted. It says 5 years ago, see your memories. I typed, fact, if you are arguing, you aren't interested in what's going on. You are interested in being right. You can't help someone if you'd rather be pig-headed and set in stone than try to find out what's up. Telling someone they are wrong mid-sentence every sentence is called belittling, and it is how we dismiss others' lives as not important. People wanted to give me advice, and they didn't want to find out what was going on. It didn't occur to them that for me to go see them in Boulder, like Pierre said to do, and like Ryan said to do, it didn't occur to them that that was putting me in danger. And I would have loved to explain it to them, but that was just not a happening thing. I just took a shower. Whatever shampoo that they use makes me itchy as shit. My shoulders are starting to break out. I usually wash my clothes in Dawn dishwashing detergent. But we'll get back to the post here that I typed. This one says, when I talk about kindness towards others, and a person I have stood up for says, don't stick up for them. That was somebody at that point I was pissed off at, because they were saying, don't stick up for Natalie and Alicia. Don't stick up for them if they're doing fucked up shit to you. Don't stick up for them, blah, 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 blah. Well, there's a reason I was sticking up for them. Their family were a bunch of shitty-ass fucking predators. And the situation in Virginia was fucked up. And of course, I never got to defend myself and their opinions. While you guys want to say you shouldn't care what other people think, people kill each other over what other people think. So that's just fucking stupid. Your pretty goddamn words have no basis in goddamn reality. Anyway, it says, when I talk about kindness towards others, and a person I have stood up for says don't stick up for them, it reminds me that folks are selfish. It's okay as long as it's happening to someone else. But it's okay for me to defend you? Fuck off. Every person deserves love. And those who have gone without it have been punished enough. Love them or shut the fuck up. Here's another one. I have been completely dependent on others for over a year. Now, that's because I fucked up my back. It wasn't a choice. It's not like I woke up and said, hey, I got a great idea. I'm going to fuck up my back today. No. And obviously, since it was on February 3rd of 2017, well, that would have been well before I ever went to see Natalie. Anyway, I typed, I have been completely dependent on others for over a year. It's the shittiest feeling to not be able to take care of the most basic needs. It's not a life I feel is worth living, to be alone all the time, depending on others, not even allowed to work. Fuck this goddamn bullshit. Now here's one from February 2nd, 2013. That one's from 2013. Here's a situation with Jordan Anderson. Oh yeah, I forgot this is not a live video. I guess I'll have to post it in the links. January 31st, 2017, I typed, "Last night I talked to 2 friends in North Carolina. I planned on seeing both while I was in Virginia last year, but couldn't reach them when I got there. One of them offered to kidnap Natalie and force her to talk to me. That's not what I want. Forcing another human being is not okay. I don't want people abducting me. Why the hell would I want that to happen to someone I care about? There is a difference between having a conversation with a friend and intimidating an inmate. I'm not okay with harming the innocent. She's scared of me, and it's because of miscommunication and panic attacks. Scaring her more is not the answer." Yeah, don't defend her, don't defend her, don't defend her. I typed, "I know he was just trying to make me feel better, but don't. I don't need to feel better. I need to get out of the situation that makes me feel so shitty. I've been trying since I was 18 with a positive attitude and a good work ethic and excellent skills with lots of energy. Who I am now isn't her fault, it's not your fault, and sometimes people can't give you what you need. Sometimes you just have to move on. Sometimes you moved on so many times, it's just not worth it to move on anymore. Sometimes that aggression y'all show makes me feel bad for not being capable of being so selfish." That's right. Even back then, all of my friends were busy violence, talking about how they'd shoot this person and how they'd beat up that person and how they'd blow this person's head off and that person's head off and how they would kill people. And it fucks with my head. It's not something I'm comfortable with. It's not something I'm okay with. It says, let's see, "Sometimes that aggression y'all show makes me feel bad for not being capable of being so selfish. Violence is always selfish, even defense." I typed, "I am selfish. I love the person I am, and I don't want to rob the world of who I am, and more so, what I have in my head." I got a lot of good ideas. A lot of times I would watch a show about different problems, and by the time the problem was done being explained, I'd already come up with 5 or 6 different ways of solving it. And then after watching the show, I realized they implemented at least 3 of those, you know. Well, let's get back to reading. Obviously, when people are assaulting me in groups like they do in the jails and the prisons, you know, I have the fight or flight thing. I'm going to defend myself when it gets that painful. Now, when I say I'm selfish, it's not because I'm violent, it's not because I'm fighting back, it's not because I'm defending myself. I say I love myself because I do. Who I choose to be versus who I have to be to defend myself in this situation are not the same. And people didn't understand that. Right at the very start of all of this bullshit, people did not understand that. It's stupid. People kept on telling me I needed to love myself. If I love myself, I must be selfish, right? Well, fine, I'm selfish. I am selfish because I love myself. I'm also selfish because I love these people, despite the fact that they're so selfish. Anyway, I typed, Violence is always selfish, even defense. I am selfish. I love the person I am, and I don't want to rob the world of who I am, and more so what I have in my head. When I'm trying to psych myself up to jump out of a tree with a rope around my neck, what makes me stop is the thought that I haven't give you what I want to give you. I always wanted to show you how much I love you, but I can't if you won't let me. That's the thing about me needing help. A lot of these people, they're constantly needing help. They needed help while I was living there too. The difference is I couldn't go there at that point. I couldn't go there and see them to help them out. And of course, a lot of people treated me like I didn't care about them because I wasn't able to be there to help them out. Now, for their help versus the help that I needed, I just needed their voice. I just needed them to speak up. That's all I needed. Now, at this point, I still didn't have disability. I was working a little bit for Laura Nelson and a little bit for Brenda Dickinson, whatever I could do to make just a little bit of money so that I could try to pay my bills. And of course, I wasn't in any kind of shape to be doing any manual labor. It was mostly just little shit, helping to sort through boxes of stuff, sort through boxes of linens, sort through boxes of breakables and things of that nature. It wasn't like I was able to move heavy furniture. But we'll get back to it. Let's see. But I can't if you won't let me. And not being able to do that is killing me. If things had gone right any number of 1,000 times it didn't, I would have my hobbit hole outside of our castle, and I could serve you all until I died, happy, because those I care about, I got to show how much I love them. Nope, not my life. I get back up 1,000 times, but those I loved the most, they all left, over bad assumptions like I wasn't trying, or chose to be homeless, or was too lazy, or did something I didn't, or someone who stabs them in the back, doesn't approve of me, or I never tried. 18 vehicles, at least 20 sets of tools, construction jobs, my shop, all were efforts to have a job, roof, and car all at once, so I could have what most people have right out of high school. It's not fucking easy. Don't tell me to move on, that part of me is broken. Stop telling me as soon as I got my shit together, because in 20 years of hearing that, nobody has their shit together. And I still come running when it's I'm screwed if I don't get help. Many of my friends say you are never here when I want you, but always here when I need you, like Miss Jerry, who no longer speaks to me, and Danny, who I found dead behind Starbucks. I actually found him dead behind the pedestrian shop, but the pedestrian shop's right next door to Starbucks. I typed, or Brandon, who doesn't speak to me, or Chance, who died drunk driving, or Stegeman, who longer speaks to me. The list goes on. Panic attacks suck, and I can't get my friends back. And how do I just stop loving them? Having a dream about Natalie dying every night sucks. I don't sleep, but I'm still not selfish enough to force another person's free will. That's fucked up. I also wrote, the friend who wanted to kidnap Natalie was Brett Roloff. Sure, he thought it would cheer me up, but it didn't. It made me feel worse. I couldn't even go to Boulder without druggy friends of Maddie Boa threatening or assaulting me. They robbed me of my ability to see my loved ones, and you pretend she was the one stalked. Morons. It's not like I wasn't screaming out for help. Danny is Daniel Kitlitz. Jerry is Jerry Sparks, who ditched me over her son Tyler's racist post. Brandon is Brandon Jepson, who thinks cops are gods who are always right. Chance is Chance Dale, Candace Bondurant's brother. Stegeman is Chris Stegeman, who didn't talk to me for years because of Jamie Curtis. Reality ain't what you think it is, folks. posted a bunch of other stuff too. Here's one from January 30th, 2017. Now this, obviously, you know, with everything that was going on, the people who were harassing me, not being able to see my loved ones, being assaulted, this is my Facebook. This is what was going on at that point in time. I typed, a friend in Virginia told me she wanted to kill herself. The next day she ran her car into a telephone pole. Well, actually it wasn't the next day, it was a few hours later, but I wrote down the next day because that's when I found out. The next day she ran her car into a telephone pole, busted her leg up a bit, but survived with a messed up leg. I went to see her. She got into 2 more accidents while I was there, and after all the crap that happened that month, and her not talking to me since my birthday, yeah, that was the last time I saw Natalie, on my birthday, when I was stuck outside of her house. Let me find my paperwork really well. I've already showed it on here a bunch, so it don't fucking matter. I was dehydrated. When I went to the hospital, that was on the 23rd. When I was stuck outside of her house, that was the 23rd. Anyway, it says, and after all the crap that happened that month, and her not talking to me since my birthday, I have a dream that she gets into an accident. Her airbag breaks her neck, and she's pointed right at me. So not much sleep since October. Made some good memories there, but those memories hurt now. She thinks I'm a villain, and that's worse than beating me up daily. She's not a bad person, it's not her fault. And see, this is where I was getting bitched at for defending her. People like Brett Roloff, talking to him on the phone and him saying, dude, you know what, dude? She did you dirty. You're a damn fool. She did you dirty. He's telling me about, you know, this is the guy that was saying that he would go kidnap her. Like, no. No, I'm not trying to scare her. That's not the point. Yeah, she did me dirty. If you understand her situation, you understand why she did me dirty. He just wasn't understanding that. You know, when Shannon Alvarado did me dirty, I can put myself in her shoes and see why she did me dirty. With Brett Roloff, I can put myself in his shoes and I can see why he did me dirty. That's the problem with empathy. When you can put yourself in someone's shoes and know how it makes them feel emotionally. And that's one of the things about knowing a person. All these people knew exactly how to hurt me when they wanted to. And they did a great job. Anyway, it says, she's not a bad person. It's not her fault, but that's how she took my typing. Now, obviously, when I went over there to explain to her about the phone, I didn't get to explain nothing because I got stuck in the fucking road, you know. I mean, here I am, I'm going to see a friend of mine. You know, she's told me where she lives. I've been to her house a couple of times. That's where I had to go on my birthday so that we could go to Elliot's Coffee Grounds. And meanwhile, I didn't even want to go to Elliot's Coffee Grounds. I just wanted to have a picnic in the driveway. And part of that is because I didn't want her family being all fucking paranoid and crazy shit like that, you know. But I typed, how do you forget someone who dies in front of you every time you try to sleep? And that's the worst part of it. I mean, just at that point, trying to talk to my friends, trying to go visit my friends, so that I wasn't having to be completely alone all the fucking time in my goddamn apartment in Chapel, surrounded by people who were constantly negative and constantly talking shit about each other, and then they want to throw a fucking tantrum when you record it, don't they? Yes, they do. Well, I didn't say that, really. go to my YouTube channel. You can hear yourself saying it, asshole. Yeah. Anyway, it says, let's see. How do you forget someone who dies in front of you every time you try to sleep? We don't have any mutual friends, so I'm not worried about her seeing her picture up, but I think it's rude, so I used a picture I drew of her instead. Now the picture that I drew was a picture I'd drawn for her mother, and by the way, she asked me to. None of the people who died or left in October were her fault, but when I needed a friend to talk to, it scared her and made me feel completely alone. My panic attacks scare people away, and I can't get them back. I can't show Brandon or Natalie or Tyler or Veronica or Miss Jerry how much I would do for them. They were people I considered family, who I trusted. I don't trust anyone. I want to trust most of you because I really do love you, but I can't. All the people I trust run away. When people I love run away, I can't tell them I love them. I can't hug them. I can't let them know how wonderful they are. And they are wonderful people. If you know them, you know what the hell I'm talking about. Just good folks. That's why I trusted them. And obviously that's not just about Natalie. It's not just about the situation with Natalie. It's also about the people who threw me away while I was in Virginia, and the people who threw me away before Virginia, and how they treated me. I mean, it's got Brandon and Natalie and Tyler and Veronica and Miss Jerry and a lot of people, and there was a lot more than that too, by the way. I mean, it was a fucked up situation. Now, between telling the truth about me or lying to protect their family from I don't even know what, that's the thing, is that what are they hiding from? They're not going to get in trouble. They're not going to get in trouble for people knowing their secrets. On January 30th, 2017, I typed, "What does it mean to be American?" It means refusing to work together, blaming victims, might makes right, and giving things a greater value than human beings. The small number of folks who aren't like this do not constitute a majority of the population, so cannot be an accurate representation of what is an American. I mean, that's very much the situation. It wasn't just the situation with Natalie, it was the sheer quantity of all of this crap. I typed, "If you are for equality, then why is it that treating you the way I treat a man is sexist? If a man is held accountable for his own actions, then you are accountable for yours. Blaming men for your actions makes you sexist. Equal means you can kiss my ass if you want preferential treatment over having a vagina. If you can't change a tire, I don't care about what your idea of equality is." Here's one. This is the one where Candace Bondurant, I explained to her when I was at her place, I needed computer access, and I needed the computer to actually work so that I could actually sign into what I needed to and actually get the information to the detectives that they needed. By this time they already had it. So at this point I was trying to turn it over to Miss Shelley, and this is the day that, if you guys have looked at the screenshots, when Candace Bondurant was saying that she gave me the internet for all day and all I did was watch some YouTube videos. It wasn't just YouTube videos. The other thing is, I'd let her know, hey, you know what, I already turned it over to Miss Shelley. So we'll play this one and hopefully you can hear it. Oh no, the volume's off. There's been so many difficulties with all the
different police agencies and all this other bullshit. I'm about to send a lady um, my email login and all that kind of stuff so she can go through it. Um, I don't trust anybody, nobody at all. But this is somebody who reached out to me, and she seems pretty trustworthy. Whether she's trustworthy or not, well, in the last week or so, I posted her name up too. So she's got as much right to this information as anyone. Hopefully, any information she finds, she'll be able to share with the police department since it's so goddamn complicated. I'm sorry I'm not able to magic my way out of a panic attack just because you want me to. So, she's not going to do any mean shit or anything. She's just trying to find out whatever information she can. I would appreciate it if you would comply with her as much as you can, help her out, help her find out whatever information she can possibly use to, well, to help. I mean, you guys, seriously, doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. It's not fucking rocket science, and this isn't somebody who's going to do violent shit to you. I've spoken with this woman before, and she's a genuinely good woman. I don't think you guys should have any complications. I'm going to turn it over to her for 72 hours. If she needs it beyond that, or if I'm in jail, well, shit, she can have the information as long as she needs it. Same with Broomfield PD. Hopefully, she'll be able to find something to help. Now, since Broomfield PD obviously has had all of my information since I handed them my computer, it's not like they're going to learn anything new, but it might help the family out, and that's more important than anything else right now. You guys can get over it.
Alright, so basically, that was right after Natalie was killed. This is on January 16th of 2018 while I was at Candace Bondurants. And I was letting people know, please cooperate and help out as best as you can. I wanted people to trust Miss Shelley and to help her with any information that might help find her killer. I knew that some of the people that I knew some of the people in the same crowd. So yeah, I was able to turn over the login information for that, and I was able to turn it over to Miss Shelley so she could use it. And of course, after turning it in, there was evidence that ended up disappearing. And how do I get that back? That's a very good question. She said that she turned it over to the detectives. They already had all of that. She didn't need to turn it over to the detectives. But evidence did disappear. And that's not saying that Rochelle Shelley Campbell got rid of it, and it's not saying that she didn't. I didn't know. I still don't know. What I do know is that the next day is when I got that pocket dial. And Officer Michael Beard, or Deputy Michael Beard of Haxton Sheriff's Department, he intimidated Candace on her way to take her kids to school, and then again on her way to while she was at work, and then her landlord threatened to throw her out in the snow. And that's the thing, is that Candace, I didn't have internet access that was useful at her place unless she was there. And while she's there, her kids are there. If her kids are there, I need to mind my P's and Q's and watch what I'm talking about. So I needed internet access during the day when I could actually make the phone calls I needed to make. I wasn't able to do that. And my phone wasn't working. Now she had left her phone there so that I had access to the internet the day after this. That's when she gave me access to the internet. She was like, well, you should get on your Facebook, log on to your Facebook and do this and this and this and this and this. I'm like, Candace, I told Miss Shelley that I would hand over my Facebook for 72 hours. Candace went out of her way to be a complete and total bitch about that shit. And you know what? Ain't no reason to fucking hide it. She wanted to be a bitch, she wanted to be a bitch. And I'm talking about the lay down and take it type, the prison bitch type. Somebody needs to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.